don't have forever. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. The clock is ticking right now, even as you read this. Time is the one thing you can't get back. You can recover money, you can rebuild relationships, you can repair your health, but once time is gone, it's gone for good. Every second that passes is a second closer to the end of your story. And the scary part, you don't get to know how many pages are left. Most people walk around like they got time on layaway. Like there's some countdown timer in the sky that's going to flash red when it's finally time to start chasing your purpose. But that's not how this works. Life doesn't give you a warning when your time is up. Some folks leave this world at 90, others at 19. The truth is, you don't get to decide when the end comes, but you do get to decide what you do between now and then. It's easy to fall into routines, to coast on autopilot. Wake up, go to work, come home, scroll your phone, repeat. You blink and it's Monday again. You blink again and it's already June. That's how time slips away, quietly, while you're distracted. That dream you had 5 years ago, you're still waiting. That business you wanted to start, that book you wanted to write, that skill you wanted to learn, they're all sitting on the shelf collecting dust while time keeps moving forward. And here's the thing, time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you were tired, afraid, busy, or broke. It just keeps ticking. You ever hear someone say, "Where did the time go?" That's not a question, it's a regret. It's the sound of someone who let the days fly by without doing what they were put here to do. The truth is, the time was always there. It just wasn't used. Every day you wake up is a gift. Every morning you open your eyes, you've been given another 24 hours to do something with your life. But if you treat time like it's unlimited, you'll waste it. And wasted time is worse than failure, because failure teaches you something. Wasted time just disappears. People often say, "I'll do it tomorrow," like they've got a guarantee. But tomorrow isn't promised. We say it casually, but deep down, we all know how fragile life really is. Accidents happen. Sickness happens. Tragedy comes out of nowhere. So ask yourself, if today was your last day, would you be proud of how you spent it? Did you move closer to your purpose, or did you just go through the motion? Time should be the loudest voice in your life. Every tick of the clock is saying, get going. But the problem is, we don't hear it until it's too late, until we've missed the moment, until we're standing on the other side of opportunity, wishing we could go back. So don't wait for tragedy to wake you up. Don't wait for pain or loss or regret to make you move. Look at your life now. Look at where you're giving your time. Is it helping you grow? Is it building your dream? Or are you just filling space trying to feel busy? The clock doesn't lie. It keeps score with brutal honesty. It tells the truth that most people try to ignore, that you've only got one shot at this life. Don't waste it waiting. Don't waste it doubting. Don't waste it trying to please everybody. Use it, guard it, honor it, because once it's gone, it's not coming back. Fear and doubt are silent killers. They don't shout, they whisper. They creep in during quiet moments, right before you take that step forward. And they start asking questions. What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if people laugh at you? And just like that, you stop. You freeze. Not because you can't, but because you're afraid you might fall. Fear doesn't have to tie you up to stop you. It just has to make you hesitate, and that hesitation is where dreams die. Most people don't fail because they weren't talented enough or smart enough. They fail because they never tried. They let the fear of the unknown keep them from even stepping up to the plate. They talk themselves out of the very thing they were born to do. They make fear a permanent resident in their mind and allow it to vote on every decision. And doubt is fear's twin. It walks beside it, always second-guessing your every move, constantly reminding you of every mistake you've made in the past, like it's proof that you'll never make it in the future. But here's the truth that most people won't tell you. Everyone feels fear. Everyone has doubts. The people you look up to, the ones who are doing what you wish you could do, they weren't fearless. They just didn't let fear be the boss. They moved anyway. They understood that fear doesn't go away, it just changes form. It disguises itself as logic, as being realistic, as advice from people who mean well but don't dream big. Fear isn't something you conquer once. It's something you learn to carry with you and still keep walking. The irony is, fear and doubt are the most convincing liars. They always speak in your voice, so you think it's your own logic. You think it's just being cautious, but what it's really doing is trapping you in a comfort zone. And nothing grows in a comfort zone. Nothing changes there. Fear will keep you safe, but it will never let you fly. Doubt will protect your ego, but it'll rob you of your. You don't get to experience purpose, joy, and fulfillment without walking through some uncertainty. People wait their whole lives for fear to go away before they take the leap. But fear doesn't leave. You just stop giving it the mic. You learn to hear that voice and say, I'm doing it anyway. Every person who's ever built something meaningful did it afraid. They started the business while nervous. They stepped on stage while shaking. They applied for the opportunity while doubting if they deserved it. And you know what happened? They grew because movement builds confidence. Action silences fear. The biggest mistake you can make is believing that fear is a stop sign. It's not. It's a signal. It's telling you that you're near something that matters. The enemy of greatness isn't failure, it's paralysis. You can recover from failure, you can learn from it, but you can't grow from the chances you didn't take. At least if you fall, you know what not to do next time. But if you never move, you never learn. You never expand. You stay stuck in the same place with the same questions, wondering what could have been. You don't need fear to go away. You need to get louder than it. You need to make your why bigger than your what if. You need to want your future more than you want your safety. Because if you let fear and doubt keep driving, you'll end up at the same destination over and over again. Nowhere. There's a version of your life on the other side of that fear, a richer, fuller, freer version, but you've got to walk through the discomfort to reach it. You'll never know how powerful you are until you move through the thing that scares you. Everyone has something special inside them, a gift, a calling, a spark. It's that thing you think about when no one's watching. It's what excites you, challenges you, pulls at you in the quiet moments. And no, it's not random. It's yours. You were given that gift for a reason. But here's the problem. Most people never use it. They bury it. They sit on it. They keep it wrapped up, hidden behind fear, insecurity, or a comfortable routine that slowly dulls their passion. Your gift isn't always going to come with flashing lights or applause. Sometimes it looks like a skill you take for granted. Maybe you're great with people. Maybe you know how to turn chaos into order. Maybe you can write, draw, teach, or lead. Whatever it is, it's unique to you, and when you ignore it, the world loses something only you could have given. That's the cost of holding back. Too many people die with their gift still inside them. They spend their lives doing what they think they're supposed to do, chasing a paycheck, pleasing their family, staying in a lane that feels safe. And then one day they look up and realize they never really lived. They survived. They followed the script, but they never opened the box. That gift wasn't meant to collect dust. It wasn't given to you just to sit in the background while you make a living doing something you don't even love. Your gift is the doorway to your purpose. It's the thing that makes work feel like passion, that turns effort into energy. When you use your gift, you don't just feel better. You get better. You grow. You inspire. You serve. But people get scared. They think if they really step into their gift, they might fail. They might not be good enough, and so they shrink. They tell themselves, I'll wait until I'm ready, or maybe I'm not the type of person who's meant to do something big. But here's the truth. No one starts out fully ready. You grow into your gift by using it. You find your voice by speaking. You sharpen your talent by practicing. You discover your power by acting on it. If you don't use your gift, you rob yourself of a life filled with purpose. You end up stuck, frustrated, tired, not because you're lazy, but because you're misaligned. You were never meant to fit into someone else's version of success. You were meant to build your own, and your gift is the tool you use to do that. You might think it's too late, that too much time has passed, but as long as you're still breathing, it's not over. You can still tap into what's inside you. You can still begin. It doesn't matter how long it's been sitting there. Your gift is still waiting, still intact, still powerful. All it needs is permission from you. And here's something else. Your gift isn't just for you. It's for other people too. When you use your gift, you impact lives. You open doors. You light the way for others who are trying to find their own path. You never know who's watching, who's being inspired, who's getting courage from seeing you step into what you were born to do. So don't let fear, doubt, or comfort talk you out of your gift. Don't bury what was meant to shine. You have something in you the world needs. You were created with intention. You weren't meant to just survive. You were meant to express, to lead, to create, to change things. And that begins when you stop ignoring the gift and start using it. Every single day. You don't need everyone to believe in you. That's one of the biggest lies people carry with them, that in order to start, to grow, or to succeed, everyone around them has to clap, approve, and cheer them on. But the truth is, the crowd usually doesn't show up until after the finish line. Most people won't see what you see. They won't understand your dream, your purpose, or your process. And that's okay, because your vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. When you start chasing something bigger than you, something bold, different, something that breaks the pattern, you're going to make people uncomfortable. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're stepping into something unfamiliar. And people fear what they don't understand. They'll try to protect you with their doubt. Are you sure that's a good idea? What if it doesn't work? You should play it safe. And it sounds like love, but often it's just fear talking through them. They can't imagine it for themselves, so they can't imagine it for you. You have to learn how to walk with blinders on, not to ignore wisdom or advice, but to recognize that not every opinion deserves weight. If someone hasn't walked where you're going, why are you letting them steer your direction? You wouldn't take financial advice from someone broke. So don't take life advice from someone who never dared to live differently. People will doubt you. That's not a sign to quit. It's confirmation that you're doing something worth questioning. When you break out of the mold, people won't get it. When you say, I'm going to build this, or I'm going to leave this job, or I'm going to chase this dream, don't be surprised if the response is silence, laughter, or side-eye. That's part of the path. The applause comes later, after the sacrifice, after the risk, after the results. But in the beginning, you have to be your own cheerleader. That's hard, especially if you're used to seeking approval, if you're used to needing confirmation before every move. But that's how people stay stuck, waiting for permission, waiting for a green light that may never come. You don't need permission to live your life. You need conviction. You need to look in the mirror and say, even if no one gets it, I do. Even if no one claps, I'm still showing. When you depend on others to validate your dream, you put your destiny in their hands. And most of the time, they're not qualified to hold it. Some people will never support you simply because they don't want to be reminded that they never went after what they wanted. Your growth exposes their fear. Your courage highlights their comfort. So don't shrink to make them feel better. Don't play small just to fit in a box you've outgrown. Your dream is real. Your vision is valid, even if you're the only one who sees it right now. You have to walk by faith, not by consensus. You have to trust that the thing inside you is worth pursuing, even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else. That kind of belief is rare, but it's also powerful. It's the difference between the person who talks about what they could have done and the person who did it. So stop waiting for a standing ovation before you take the first step. Do it without the likes. Build it without the followers. Speak it even when your voice shakes. Because once it's real, once the dream becomes visible, those same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. And when they do, you'll remember you didn't need them to believe in it. You just needed to believe in yourself. You don't have to have it all figured out to begin. One of the biggest myths people believe is that they need to wait until everything is perfect. The timing, the money, the confidence, the connections, before they start chasing what's in their heart. But that moment of perfection never comes. Life doesn't hand you a clear path. You've got to step into the unknown and trust that the road will reveal itself as you walk. If you wait until everything's in place, you'll wait your whole life. You got to start with what you have, where you are. It might not be ideal. You might feel underqualified. You might be tired, broke, or scared. That doesn't disqualify you. It qualifies you, because starting from the bottom builds something that finishing never could. Grit, resourcefulness, hunger. Starting with less means you learn to create, not just consume. You learn to stretch, you learn to solve, you learn to move forward, even when it's messy. And that's where the real growth happens. Too many people waste years getting ready. They keep preparing, planning, and perfecting, but never executing. They call it strategy, but really, it's procrastination in a nice outfit. Let's be honest. Most of the time, people say, I'm not ready, because they're afraid of failing. They think they need one more course, one more connection, one more sign. But the truth is, clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. You don't find your power by standing still, you find it in motion. And you don't need a big platform to begin. You don't need a huge budget or a fancy logo or a perfect website. If you're a writer, start writing. If you're a speaker, start speaking. If you're a builder, start building. Use what's in your hands right now. Social media is free. Your voice is free. Your creativity is free. There's power in starting small. Some of the most successful people in the world began in their basements and garages and quiet corners with nothing but an idea and a little courage. They didn't wait for the stage. They built the stage with what they had. That first step is often the hardest. It's where your insecurities show up the loudest. But here's the truth. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to become great. Confidence is a result of action, not a prerequisite for it. Every step you take, even the small ones, moves you closer to your dream. Every attempt teaches you something. Every failure sharpens your focus. It's not about getting it perfect, it's about getting it moving. Starting where you are also means being honest about your season. Maybe you're raising kids. Maybe you're working 2 jobs. Maybe you're healing from something that shook you. That doesn't mean your dream is dead. It means your path might look different, and that's okay. Progress doesn't have to be loud to be real. Sometimes showing up is the win. Sometimes writing 1 page is enough. Sometimes sending 1 email is the breakthrough. Don't overlook the small beginnings. Don't despise the slow days. That's where your foundation is being built. No one starts at the top. And if they do, they usually don't stay there. Because it's not the starting line that shapes you. It's the journey. It's the stumbles, the late nights, the learning curve, the persistence. That's what creates strength, character, and staying power. So don't be ashamed of your beginning. Don't hide your process. Embrace it, honor it, own it, because every master was once a beginner. Every giant step started with one small move. And the only difference between the people who make it and the ones who don't, one of them decided to begin right where they were with what they had. The pain you've been through wasn't pointless. The disappointments, the failures, the betrayals, the losses, they weren't just setbacks. They were setups. Everything you've gone through, even the things you never asked for, has shaped you, molded you, strengthened you. It might not feel good, but it served a purpose. Pain has a way of teaching you what comfort never could. And if you're willing to look at your struggle through the right lens, you'll realize it didn't come to destroy you, it came to build you. Most people want the success without the suffering. They want the testimony without the test. But it doesn't work that way. Growth always has a cost. Becoming who you were meant to be isn't painless. It's uncomfortable. It stretches you. And yes, sometimes it breaks you for a while, but even in the breaking, something deeper is forming. Endurance, wisdom, perspective, strength that can't be taught in a book or handed to you in a speech. Sometimes the very thing that broke your heart gave you your calling. That job you lost, it forced you to think bigger. That relationship that ended, it taught you your worth. That season where everything fell apart, it gave you the blueprint for what you're about to build. Pain clarifies what matters. It strips away the noise. It wakes you up to your potential. Because when you've survived what tried to break you, you realize how strong you really are. People think being strong means pretending the pain never happened. That's not strength. That's denial. True strength is saying, yeah, that hurt me, but it didn't stop me. It's using your scars as reminders, not excuses. It's taking your wounds and turning them into wisdom. You might have been knocked down, but if you get back up, you're already winning. The world honors the wins, but it's your ability to rise after the losses that reveals who you really are. Don't waste your pain. Don't just go through it. Grow through it. Let it teach you. Let it refine you. Let it push you toward purpose. Some of the most powerful people in this world are the ones who took their lowest moments and used them as fuel. They didn't run from the fire. They walked through it and came out stronger. They didn't let the pain define them. They used it to design their future. You might be in a hard season right now. Maybe everything feels heavy. Maybe you're asking, why me? But instead of asking why, start asking, what is this trying to teach me? What can I build from this? What can I let go of? Because sometimes pain isn't just about learning, it's about shedding. Shedding old habits, false identities, limiting beliefs. It's about stepping into a version of yourself that can only be revealed through pressure. You don't have to be thankful for the pain, but you can be thankful in the pain. Thankful that you're still standing. Thankful that you're still here, still breathing, still trying. That means your story isn't over. That means your pain isn't the period, it's the comma. You've still got more to say, more to do, more to become. And the same struggle that nearly broke you can be the story that sets someone else. Your healing can heal others. Your voice can give someone else strength, but only if you stop hiding your pain and start using it. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after it. And when you decide that your pain won't be wasted, that it won't be the end of you, but the beginning of something greater, you step into your power. You step into your purpose. Because the very thing that tried to bury you just planted the seed of your next season.